the question is the Biltwell EXFIL 80 the best bag for crushing miles on your dyno? Going on YouTube, BK Low is back in the building. And today we are gonna do the 5 things that I like about the Biltwell EXFIL 80. So before we begin, I gotta give a major shout out to Get Lowered, who gave me the opportunity to do this review and take this bag to Canada. If you haven't heard, Get Lowered's kind of like your one-stop shop for pretty much anything motorcycle related. They got exhaust, grips, seats, everything you might need for your beautiful Dyna or Sportster or whatever you're riding. So check them out, Get Lowered. Great guys. Thanks again, you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity. So, thing number 1 that I liked is the storage, man. I don't know if you could tell by the pictures or the video, but this bag can store an insane amount of things. So, like, like if you're setting up a Sissy bar bag, right? You want to pack that thing as tight as possible so you could give yourself a backrest. I'm telling you, I packed all the things I set aside for my Canada trip, and I literally still had half the bag left, which was actually kind of a problem because now it wasn't filled up completely, which wouldn't allow me to have a backrest when I actually did the trip. So what that meant is I actually had to put a bunch of things in there that I didn't exactly need, but were nice to have. So items that went in there just to help fill it up was a electric hot water boiler, 2 pounds of coffee beans, a French press, along with just more t-shirts and jackets that anyone would have needed. So yeah, I finally, I packed this thing with all that stuff, and even still, there was still room to spare. And I think on their website, I like how they say that they tested it out and you can fit 80 12-ounce cans in the bag. So if you find yourself going on your raids and like you don't have enough room for those mana potions and your potions for healing, and you want to throw some food in there, like this is definitely a bag that will fit all that stuff when you go on your magical quest. God, I'm sorry, Brooklyn, I'm not trying to wake y'all up. Okay, so thing number 2 that I really like, if you've ever done a long distance trip on a Dyna or a Sportster or something that's not built for touring, then you kind of know that like that setup with your bags on the back is crucial when you're hitting like 500 miles a day or whatever you're doing. Like I remember when I was doing my Sturgis trip, if I packed those 2 bags slightly wrong, then I might have something like jutting into my back. You don't want to put anything hard where your back is going to be touching. You gotta be really thoughtful about it. But the really nice thing about the Biltwell bag is it has that built-in backrest that's actually like really soft. So no matter what I put in there, which what you're supposed to put in there is tools, but no matter what you put in there, you're always going to get that nice soft backrest. So you don't even have to worry about like stuffing towels in there or something soft so you could be comfortable. It's already built in. And it's pretty amazing that, like, again, it's built for hard tools, right? And you can throw your tools in there, all your wrenches and sockets and all that stuff, and you're not going to feel them because it's got that pad. So like, as someone who does a lot of miles and does these types of trips, that is amazing to just not have to think about. So I really, really love that built-in backrest, you know? Alright, so thing number 3 that I really liked about this bag is just the general durability and resistance to weather that's like built into this thing. So like, I was kind of skeptical when I first got it, where I was like, oh man, the only thing that's like keeping this bag closed is this Velcro on the top and maybe some clips. And then as I went day by day using this bag through, you know, I'm putting crazy amounts of miles on it every day, that Velcro wasn't going anywhere. And that's from the first day of the trip to the last day of the trip. Whatever type of Velcro they use on there is super strong, and it kept that bag sealed the entire time along with the clips on the top. So I was really happy about that. And then the other thing is, like, you know, I like the material that they use on the inside. It's got that, like, it's that orange high-vis material, so if you happen to be like rifling through there at night, it really illuminates everything that's in there. And then the other thing is, when it did rain, oh, nice move, that was a good one. When it did rain, and I didn't cover the bag with the rain poncho, like there'd be times where we would just hit rain and it wasn't a good time to stop, so I would just leave the bag exposed. No water got in there, and that's even without the rain poncho. So like, again, I used the bag. Nothing became, like, there's no threads hanging, nothing becoming like frayed or anything towards the end. It really held up for the entire trip, and I'm talking like 600 miles a day of like good riding. So I mean, the durability on that bag, amazing. And that brings me to thing number 4, which is just another thing where if you're not on a bagger, you know how important this is. Thing number 4 is going to be that built-in rain poncho that they actually attach to it. Oh, NYPD, can't mess around here. We'll just stay in my lane. So, I mean, when I did my Sturgis trip and I didn't have this type of bag, right? If I knew it was gonna rain, first off, I always put all my clothes in Ziploc bags, just in case, right? And then, if I knew it was gonna rain, I had to take a separate rain poncho, wrap it all up in the morning, put it back on, and then when I came to whatever my destination was, take the poncho off, put the poncho away. You know, it rains, and that slowly becomes a headache. The thing that I love about the EXFIL 80 is I don't have to worry about that because the bag is always attached, because the poncho is always attached to the bag itself. Just one more thing I don't have to worry about. And we got caught in some crazy rain on that trip, man. Like way more crazy rain than when we did our Sturgis trip. And everything in that bag was always dry. I didn't have to put anything in Ziploc bags or anything like that. Everything was able to take whatever torrential downpours we rolled through. So, man, I can't say enough good things about that rain poncho. Which brings me to our final thing, which is thing number 5. And this one is major, man. Thing number 5 is just the general thoughtfulness that Biltwell put into this bag, and how and just like how user-friendly this bag really is. So like I said, when you do these types of trips on the Dyna, it's a lot of packing, unpacking, a lot of stuff with your bags or sissy bar. This bag really makes it so that there were days where I was packing up and getting unpacked before the 2 guys on baggers were. And the reason for this is Biltwell was really thoughtful in their design. So here's what I really like about it. You have 4 main straps. You have one that comes over the top, and then you have 3 that come around the side of the bag. those straps are super heavy duty, and once you throw those straps on, you tighten them up a little bit, the bag is going nowhere. So what does that mean for you? Well, that means you don't have to worry about bungee cords, and that's one less thing you have to worry about. Now, I know Connor threw bungee cords on his, but that's because he was carrying things besides the bag around it. But like I said, I didn't take any bungee cords, and that bag for the entire trip was going nowhere, man. Didn't budge at all. And then that's not the only thing. Like I talked about the rain poncho, the best thing about that rain poncho is you can have your bag like already strapped on. You have all the straps and everything. You don't have to take the bag off to put the rain poncho on. And the day when I realized that, I swear it made my entire day. It's little small victories of the trips that do it. But I'm telling you, that made my whole day, because I'm so used to like, all right, I gotta take everything off, put it back on. It comes right out of the bottom, doesn't require you to take the bag off. That is amazing, because hey, if it starts raining, you gotta handle this stuff in a pinch, right? You don't want to be chilling on the side of the road getting soaked doing this. So good job on that, Biltwell. Seriously, it's these little details that really add up and could make your trip way more pleasant than it would be if you weren't rocking a bag like this. And then finally, I didn't think I was going to use it. Like I saw that they gave you the little shoulder strap in a Biking Birds video. But when you're packing this thing, it's going to get pretty heavy, you know? And I don't care if you're in the Schwarzenegger scene in Predator. The bag gets heavy. So after you put in a long day of riding, you know, you don't want to be lifting that thing. The shoulder strap was amazing. Like I'm telling you, it's like without that, it would have been a little bit more annoying than it needed to be dealing with this bag. So again, Biltwell really thought of everything on this, and that bag just made that trip so pleasant, so much easier than the last time I went cross country. So shout out to Biltwell, really good stuff. Now the only thing I would change in the next iteration, I loved everything. There's only one thing though, and the only one thing is I wish there was somehow a way for them to implement a little bit more security into the bag. And here's what I mean by this. Like there's times where you're like going to like destination, you're going to cool places or whatever, and the dudes who are on baggers, they could just lock those bikes up, right? But for me, the bag is completely exposed. All someone needs to do is just come up, undo 4 straps, and they have not only my bag, but everything that I packed. So it would be really annoying because I would either just have to put the bike in a place where I could keep an eye on it, or take the bag with me if that was going to be the case. So it'd be really nice for Biltwell to somehow, I don't know how they would do this. Again, I don't have any suggestions of how to do this, but it'd be really nice if Biltwell could somehow like think of a security measure so that you don't lose your bag and everything in it to theft. Alright, so that's really all I got for you guys today. As always, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. And I could honestly say that from what I've seen, if you're trying to do trips like this on like a Sportster or a Dyna or something, that bag really makes it doable. And you know my riding style. I like to ride fast, I like to ride far. I'm not so much of like a stunt rider or whatever. I just like to go crazy distances and show people that you could do this stuff on things that are not built for touring. Biltwell really makes that doable, man. I'm telling you. If you don't have the bag and you're trying to crush miles and do long trips, check out the Biltwell EXFIL 80. Go to Get Lowered, get yourself one. Comes in a couple of different colors. I think it comes in green too, and you won't regret it. Tell them I sent you. And yeah, man, that's really it. Alright, y'all, but I hope this was helpful. That's all I really got for you. Thanks for watching, and BK Low is out.